Hey guys, right now I'm walking. I'm gonna talk about aliens. I try to put my mind chatter into audible chatter, so you guys can hear. Anyways, when we were kids and stuff, I had such a big imagination. I saw the world differently than I saw it now. I was in I had different feelings, different times, different tribes. And if you look at the stars, the moon, when I was a kid, I used to think there's aliens, there's crazy things with my mind. My imagination would run wild. I'd have the wildest thoughts, wildest dreams, the craziest visions. I really did. It's a very interesting thing. And as I got older, things started to get a little harder, more difficult, more complex. My life things started maturing, started getting anxiety, things like that, and depression, whatever. And I thought, alright, this is the life we're meant to live, We're just here, and that's it to life, That's what I thought. I thought there's nothing more to life. But as I got older, I realized that there is God, there is Jesus, and that stuff is actually real. And I remember from a young age I had a consciousness of God. And I remember when I was walking as a kid, like a warm consciousness. I was walking as a kid with my grandma outside. I remember seeing, it was a rainy day, or after a rainy day, it stopped raining, and I saw a bunch of worms on the ground. So, kid, like, what, I'm just gonna step on these on purpose, just purposely step on them, just to kill them, just to squish them. So as a kid, I did that. And I remember I felt kind of guilt after stepping on the first one. I felt a little guilt after stepping on the second one. I felt a little guilt, a lot of guilt stepping on the third one. Every time I stepped on one, it was more and more guilt. So the third time, when I stepped on the thing, I felt like a God's presence. Like I just knew it was God's presence because something told me it was God. I just felt it leave me, I felt that God's presence leave me. I felt God leaving me. And to describe it to you is one of those things like, you did something wrong that you shouldn't have done. And I remember feeling like God leaving me, God being disappointed, God leaving me. That's what I felt. And I remember that day. And because it happened, I remember God's presence leaving me. I remember things started becoming different. I feel like I've entered sin, a sinful stage. I felt wrong. I just felt like things were happening to me now. I feel like God's hand was lifted off me, and the allowance of sin and the worldly things to harm me finally started to happen. That's how I felt. And it was real. It made sense. But nothing much of it as a kid. I was like, whatever. Growing up, my life was weird, I always tried to be popular kid, a cool kid. All this never really worked out. I always wondered why, because I felt like I tried my hardest and nothing ever worked. So it made no sense. But anyways, I got older, got type 1 diabetes. That's how my last resort was to pray. I prayed instead of scrolling through Instagram. I was happy and I felt like something happened, like I did something. And after I prayed, I felt the presence. I felt like my life changed, I felt like that sort of presence, God kind of returned to me as a kid, but slowly and surely, And sin is real. God is real. God watches us. God's hands on us, certain. And what I regret was having God leave me, because when God left me, took his hand off me, I just felt sin. I just felt darkness, I felt, alright guys, my battery phone thing's about to die, man.